Lisa was despondent. She was divorced, unemployed, and in debt. But she decided she would take a trip to Egypt to see the pyramids. She's woken up early the first morning from the sounds of a mosque telling its worshippers time for prayer. Groggy from lack of sleep and jet lag, she fumbled for her cigarette and lighter. But the cigarette would not light. It wasn't until her nose caught the scent of burning plastic that she realized what she was doing. She was trying to light a pen cap. So this brought her down more in the dumps. But she decided then to quit smoking, and that revolutionized her life. Not only did she quit smoking, she got a job and kept it. She got a job, and then she got out of debt and bought a house. And she also changed her diet, started exercising and lost 60 pounds, and she started a master's program, all because she decided to quit smoking. So for Lisa, smoking was a keystone habit. And I'll tell you more about keystone habits and how habits are begun and how habits can be modified. So back to keystone habit. A keystone habit is a habit that when it changes a lot of other non-related habits. What does a master's program have to do with smoking? Absolutely nothing. But if she had quit smoking, she would have started her master's degree. So that is, now, keystone habits also helpful for corporations also. Alcoa Aluminum hired a new CEO to get a better bottom line. However, at the first investors meeting, the only thing he talked about was safety. His goal was to have 0 accidents in the call. Investors called their clients and told them to sell stock because this guy was crazy. However, this one focus on safety catalyzed the company into one efficient and competitive unit that in 10 years, profits were increased 5-fold and the stocks were up 200%. That is the power of a keystone habit. Now, how are habits made? Habits require 3 things: a cue, routine, and a reward. Now, a cue could be a box of donuts, and the routine will be opening it up, picking it up, and taking a bite, and eating it. And every time you repeat that, the habit strengthens. And the habit also, you also begin to, when you see the box of donuts, you begin to start craving for the donuts because you know what's inside. But what happens is you go to the box of donuts and it's empty. You have a craving that's not fulfilled. And I say, just stay away from that person because they're not a happy camper. So that is how habits are made. Now, how are habits modified? You have a habit. We have the habit has a cue and a routine and a reward. You keep the cue and reward and change the routine. Now, suppose you wanted to maybe lose some weight and decide not to eat donuts. So every time you see the cue, which would be a box of donuts, you think about how you feel and how you look when you're able to slip into that bikini the next summer. And every time you see the box, you develop this habit. Pretty soon this habit will be stronger than the first habit. That's how the habits are created, are changed. There are two other things that are helpful in changing habits. One, you must believe that you can change the habit. 2, habits seem to change easier when you are able to do it with a group of people. So if you want to lose weight, you'll join Weight Watchers. If you want to improve skills on speaking, you join Toastmasters. Now tonight, I've told you how habits, the power of keystone habits, how one habit can change many other habits that are not related. It's like a rock that's thrown into a little pond and it causes ripple effect. Now, I've also told you about how habits are formed with a cue, a routine, and a reward. And then how habits can be modified with keeping the cue and reward, but changing the routine. What is your keystone habit? And how will it revolutionize your life?